Hello, everybody. Welcome to Michael's YouTube channel. Most of it backpacking in West Virginia and North Carolina. But this trip is entitled The Full Canyon Rim in the Roaring Plains Wilderness, Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. All right, good afternoon. It's Michael. It's about 1:40 in the afternoon, Friday, August 15th. And I'm on the South Prong Trail in the Roaring Plains Wilderness. And yeah, I'm out until Monday. But my iPhone was giving me issues on the way up. I was plugged into the charger and the green battery icon was green and the battery percentage was going down instead of up. So I probably need to replace the battery in my iPhone and or get a new iPhone. But anyway, I'm here. I made it. The truck ran fine. I got my gear. No sleeping bag. I just brought a sleeping bag liner. But hopefully my phone will charge up in the wilderness. All right, time to just keep on hiking. South Prong Trail, mid-August 2025. Temperature's probably 80 degrees. It's warm. Weather forecast looks really good for the next 4 days. All right, it's a little after 3, Friday, August 15th, 2025. And I just got on the Hidden Passage Trail. And most likely, I'm gonna take that really nice campsite on the Allegheny front, unless it's been taken. You never know. This is an unofficial trail, semi-bushwhacking, I would call it. Gets a fair amount of use though, so the treadway is not too difficult to follow. See? Anyway, phone's doing good. I've only lost 1% of my battery charge in the last hour and a half, which is really good. I got on low battery and got the airplane mode. Anyway, having a good day. All right, I am almost at the camp that I call the Allegheny camp because it sits right on the edge of the Allegheny front. And that's where I'm gonna stay. I was hoping to do more miles today, but day one is not easy when you have to drive 5 hours and deal with iPhone battery that doesn't want to charge correctly. But it seems to be doing fine now. So I should be at the campsite in about 5 minutes. Nice spruce grove. When I got it to my cell, there were no cars parked at the South Pong trailhead. That is off of 5 Road 19. There is another South Prong trailhead. Shares the same parking area with the Boar's Nest Trail. Whew. All right, this is gonna be home. I've camped here several times. It's a great spot. Drops off right there. North Fork Mountain, you can't see with all the trees leafed out, but it's right across the valley. And I didn't bring my Helinox 1. One of the plastic fittings has got a crack in it. Still works, but I don't want to trust it. So I just brought a half of a thermarest pad, and I can sit over there. Anyway, I'm gonna have an electrolyte drink. Friday, August 15th, Roaring Plains Wilderness. Camping here for the evening. Beautiful spot on the edge of the Allegheny Front. I can see my tent in the distance. No sleeping bag, no Helinox 0. I think in a previous video I called it Helinox 1. No wind, no rain, no people. There's my lounge area. There's my sleeping area. Yeah. I don't know what the temperature is. I'm gonna say it's 77, 76. But I brought a Cocoon microfiber sleeping bag liner. Has no insulation value, but I'm not gonna freeze. So, and in the background is my Osprey Exos 48, which did a great job today. So it's been a good day. iPhone is charging much better than it did earlier today. But anyway, very small bear hang in there. It's better than nothing. All right. Enjoy this video and keep backpacking, and like, subscribe, or comment. Thank you so much. Good morning. It is Saturday, August 16th. It is about 5:50 a.m. The sun is slowly starting to rise. I'm getting ready to make some hot beverage. It's a combination of coffee and Carnation Essentials breakfast drink. And a little sugar. Sucked over there.
No fly, no sleeping bag. I had to put on my merino up at base layer. It got a little cool. Haven't checked the temperature lately, but I'm getting ready to make coffee or my hot beverage drink right there. And I'm going to be heading in a southwest direction that way to the pipeline. Follow the pipeline down for a quarter of a mile east or south actually, and get on Canyon Rim Trail and get at least as far as a Teepee. Anyway, phone's working good as far as the battery. I woke up and the charge was 100%. I shut it off during the night, but working well. Alrighty. There's the sunrise. It's gonna be a good day. Ciao.
All right, good morning. It is 8:20 a.m. Saturday, August 16th, and I'm all packed up at the campsite that I call the Allegheny Camp because it sits right on the edge of the Allegheny front. And I am heading to the pipeline, down the pipeline, and I'm going to pick up the Canyon Rim Trail. And that is really my main objective for this hike. I've done the section of the Canyon Rim from the pipeline to Teepee many times, at least a half a dozen. I've only done the section of the Canyon Rim from Teepee to the Roaring Plains campsites, not far from Flat Rock Run Trail, once. And it was in a rainstorm. And when I finally finished it, I was on the verge of hypothermia and bailed. Hiked out Forest Road 70. But it's gonna be a warm one. Got pretty cool last night with just a sleeping bag liner. I'm sure it got down to about 52, 53 degrees because it was 55 at 6 a.m. when I got up. But I'm all watered up. Had my morning breakfast beverages, and what a beautiful day. I did hear some coyotes early in the evening. They were just kind of barking and yapping. They weren't really howling. But anyway, this is not an official trail. This is unofficial social trail, so it's not maintained, nor is it marked. But I know it really well. And I just gotta take it easy and keep my eye out for rattlesnakes, because this is rattlesnake weather. They're gonna be out sunning. And there's some talus screes that I'm sure are chock full of them. So I gotta be careful. Nice fire pits, even got a little chimney. Holy crap. But how's the tent pass? Because I might remember it next time I come here. Yeah. This is a good one. I think the next time I'm here, I'm going to stay here. Even the rock furniture is better. Only had taken a few minutes. All right, time to hike on. All right, there's the pipeline. south. Gotta go 3/10 of a mile to the Canyon Rim Trail where the thermometer sign is on the tree. This is the hidden passage / Jeep trail where I spent the night about 3/4 of a mile from where I'm at now. And that way will take me to Fly Road 70 and the Roaring Plains Trail. Yeah, but that's not my plan. I've done that many times. Anyway, it's gonna be a hot one, so I gotta pay attention to the heat and the hydration and electrolytes and critters. All right, time to hike down to the Canyon Rim. It's about 9 o'clock Saturday, August 16th. I just got on the Canyon Rim Trail. As I mentioned in a previous video, I've done this section of the Canyon Rim 5 or 6 times. It's the other section from Teepee to the Roaring Plains Trail that I have not done. But I'm gonna water out to the creek down here, get some electrolytes. It's only 60 degrees, which is a blessing. Seen old deer bone, seen some old bear poop. Lots of interesting birds. I don't know the species though. But I'm just gonna take it one step at a time, 1 mile at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. And slow and steady wins the race. And that's me. Anyway, I think the trail crosses this creek. I'm gonna find a spot to stop and filter some water. I'm gonna filter some water a half a mile before the point, and that'll be pretty much the last water until I get to Teepee, and even then that's not a guarantee. Okay. All right, a little more of the Canyon Rim Trail. Good little drop. Very small creek and a little rise. And it's nice and cool in the woods. So just briefly, Roaring Plains Wilderness and Dolly Solids Wilderness, they basically are neighbors. They pretty much abut each other. But the big difference is, for every 10,000 visitors to Dolly Solids, you probably get 5 visitors to Roaring Plains. And I haven't seen anybody on this trip. That's okay. It is Saturday. I'm expecting I'll probably run into somebody, but that's fine. red spruce, oak, yellow birch, ferns, fungi, mud. Yeah, this is Monongahela National Forest in the beautiful state of West Virginia. All right, if you're coming from the pipeline onto the Canyon Rim Trail, this is the first really decent campsite. It's probably only a half a mile from the pipeline, and water is not that far away. And I've met people here before that were quite nice, and I'd stop and check. This campsite looks better than it used to. I'm not a big fan of stone furniture, but you know what? That bench is pretty effing sweet. Tent platforms are pretty good. I don't know if I'd like them in a heavy rain, but I'm not sure where this goes. Maybe a hammock station. Goes to the edge of the front. I can tell that because it just drops off. I don't know if you can tell, but Canyon Rim follows the edge of the Allegheny front. Oh, I've never been up to this little spot before. Oh, cool. Again, this is where you can find rattlesnakes. Oh, nice. Beautiful. All right, I gotta get going. All right, here is the reliable water source about a half mile from the point. I'm gonna water up here. Love the sound of the water. Gonna put my pack over there and water up there. Full water up. Beautiful. All right, I just watered up. I'm a little less than a half a mile to the point, heading to the Teepee intersection, where I'll decide whether to camp there or continue on. And should start getting into these large, open, bouldery, sandstone boulder areas, which are prime habitat for timber rattles. So I'm really focused on watching my steps and looking ahead. Looking ahead is half the battle. All right, I should be hitting one shortly. Nice area. All right, it's about 10:40 Saturday, and I'm getting very close to the point. And this is where the timber noodles, the timber rattlesnakes, like to hang out. And maybe a little too early in the day for them, but this is prime habitat. And I came from that direction, and I have to tell you, I'm pretty sure there was a bear on the trail this morning. I saw several examples of ground dug up, a couple of holes, and I believe one fairly good size 60-pound flat sandstone boulder turned over. And yeah, and I did hear a crack in the woods, but it all points to black bear to me. But anyway, the point is right up there. I'm not going to stop at the point. I've been there many times. And let's go. Let's make it happen, baby. All right, it's 11:40 a.m. Saturday, August 16th. This is the campsite. It's a little less than a half a mile from the point. This is the place I stayed at 2 years ago and got violently sick by eating something I thought was a ramp. It turned out to be a false hellebore. Thank God I only ingested one. The closest water is 1 mile behind me where I came from, where I filled up about an hour ago. All right, gonna keep moving, heading towards the Teepee Trail. It's a nice site. I think it's more hammock friendly than tent friendly, to be honest. Sorry about that. All right, I am on the Canyon Rim Trail. Yep, still. You can see Haystack Knob, that's the little one, and Green Knob, the one with the communication tower on it. I've been to Haystack Knob twice, attempted to get there 4 times. It is extremely difficult to get there, trust me. Beautiful clouds. And over there you can see the Canyon Rim, rocky talus slope. I'm going to zoom in on it. There we go. And I'm heading to the Teepee Trail. Good weather. Got to make a decision when I get to Teepee. Do I continue on or not? I don't really like stopping too early. Anyway, I'm having a great time. Catch up with you later. Hello everybody, it's Michael. It's about 4:40 p.m. Saturday, August 15th, and I'm at the intersection of the Teepee Trail and the Canyon Rim Trail, which heads that way. Teepee Trail is over to my right, and got here about 2 o'clock, which is early, but this trip wasn't about making miles. This trip was about enjoying the country, the mountains, taking pictures, and just getting outside of Whitestone. So my tent's over there. I've camped there before. My little rest area, hanging out, studying the maps, talking to myself, drying out my boots. They're just damp from mud and sweat. And again, no fly. Very unusual to go 2 nights in a row with no fly. And I'm anticipating no fly tomorrow night. Pack, gear, tent, you know. But I went looking for the spring in this direction. And I found it, but it's like semi-subterranean and there wasn't much flow. So I'm gonna get ready to make a venison casserole for dinner and just relax. It's been, last time I backpacked was November, and even though I've been riding my mountain bike 80, 100 miles a month, which has helped, especially with going up hills, my body is feeling it, but that's what ibuprofen's for, and a leave. Okay, having a great trip. The weather has been amazing. Okay, time to chill and eat and go to bed.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning. It's a little bit before 8, about 5 of 8, and it's August 16th. And I'm leaving the Teepee campsite, heading on to the section of Canyon Rim Trail I've only done one time before. And it's in the direction my camera is facing, that way. And it's a tough mile to get to the campsites on the Roaring Plains Trail. Most likely, once I get to the campsites, I'm gonna take a breather and head back to my truck because I will have achieved my goals. My water supply is low. I know where to get water. If I were to stay at those campsites, I'd have to head down about 1.5 miles towards Haystack Knob and then come back. But, slept really well, had some crazy ass dreams, and was able to get my battery charged, but my phone is acting up. It charges when it wants to and doesn't charge when it doesn't want to. Anyway, I need to get moving, leave no trace. I got a gallon Ziploc bag full of trash. All right, I'll catch up with you later. All right, I'm on the Canyon Rim Trail, northwest of Teepee. Talus Field. There's some cairns, and I really appreciate that a lot. It's a beautiful country, but it's rugged, and you gotta pay attention when you're following it. Beautiful day. All right, I am on the talus fields of the Canyon Rim. This is the big cairn that's marked on that map. And there's 2 cairns descending down. I'm gonna head into the woods for a little bit and then slowly bear to the right and climb up to the Roaring Plains campground. So that part can be just as tricky. At least it was for me 2 years ago in a rainstorm. But the cairns have been really helpful. I mean, it's a godsend for me. All right, time to keep moving. All right, it's a few minutes after 9, Sunday, August 16th. I am on the Canyon Rim Trail, but I've been doing very well. I descended the Talus scree slope, and now I enter the woods and slowly climb uphill. It'll take me right to those campsites on Roaring Plains, and I'm gonna get there way early. So most likely I'm gonna head back to my truck, which is fine. But these cairns, I just love them. Love them. Remember Toto from Wizard of Oz? Toto was a cairn terrier. They're from Scotland. All right, ciao. I'm getting close to those campsites on Roaring Plains. This trail was a lot harder 2 years ago in a cold, late April rainstorm where I got soaked to the bone, came close to hypothermia, but I was able to bail out. It was fine, but it was close. Just a little after 9 in the morning. Temperature's probably about 65.
63 when I woke up, which is 8 degrees warmer than it was the morning before. It's so reassuring to find a treadway on an unofficial social trail this good. And there's many places on the Canyon Rim trails like that, but there's also many places where it's semi-bushwhacking, route finding, navigation, and common sense. Thank you, Karen. I say thank you and touch them with my pole. It's good luck. All right. Not too much further. Well, the sun is to my back, and that's the direction I'm heading. Heading back to my truck. I'm on the Roaring Plains Trail. I just got off the Canyon Rim Trail about 5 minutes ago. The last 30 minutes was a real shit show, which is a shame because everything else was really well marked, except for the high grass section approaching the Roaring Plains campsites and trail. And it was aggravating, but I did it. The weather's good and my pack's feeling light. So just a little commentary that I'm off the Canyon Rim Trail, heading on Roaring Plains Trail, and I'm gonna walk down 5 Road 70 to my truck. Ciao. All right, it's Michael, Sunday, August 16th, and I'm on the Roaring Plains Trail heading back to my vehicle. Right here, I get the camera focus on the Teepee Trail. Teepee Trail is 4/10 of a mile to the Canyon Rim Trail. That's its only redeeming feature. Otherwise, it's a nasty, vile, mud-infested little shithole. It's got some nasty mud holes, and it's just nasty little trail, but it's convenient. This is a Roaring Plains Trail. Even in the Roaring Plains, the official trails, the U.S. Forest Service trails, and this is one of them, they're becoming way overgrown. Doesn't bother me, but I got 0.9 miles to 5 Road 70, and then 3¼ miles to my truck. So a couple hours. Alrighty. Can't wait for a cold beverage. Okay, well, I just got to the pipeline. They've been doing some work on this section of the pipeline for several months now. Looks nothing like I remember it. It's much more civilized, wider. They got all kinds of, I don't even know what you call them. But yeah, it looks like it stops halfway up that hill. But 5 Road 70 is right over there. And I'm gonna take a break and hike to my truck. It's been a great hike. It's gonna be a very large loop. All right, talk to you later. All right, I'm hiking down 5 Road 70. It doesn't open to the public until September 1st and closes December 31st, primarily to accommodate grouse hunters, bear hunters, probably deer hunters, and hikers. And they've laid down crushed stone, and it's significantly better than it used to be. It was a nice fire road, but it was very narrow, and it was rough in spots, and it's 3 miles long, so I get about 2.5 miles to my truck. But it's a little bit wider, and that's going to make it really helpful when you deal with oncoming traffic. There was places on this road where oncoming traffic was a serious issue. Like you might have to back down a half mile to find a spot where you could pull over. It was pretty bad. Not gonna be perfect, but it's definitely easy to get 2 vehicles past each other, I should say. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting back to my truck. All right. It's been a great hike. Get close to 15 miles by the time I'm done. Love Roaring Plains Wilderness. Just hiking down Fire Road 70. The improved Fire Road 70. It's gonna make my life a little easier, safer.